Oh, I can feel it in the air. It's baseball season, you guys. Hot dogs, freshly cut grass, peanuts. Little league managers get into fights with umpires and shoving them on the ground. All these things are beautiful about the baseball season that we're now seeing, or maybe not so much. This is more disgusting behavior. This is out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, down there in Texas, where a little league coach didn't like to call it home plate and then also didn't like being kicked out of the game for complaining about it. But the first, most important part about this for me, Ravana, let's watch that again. I think that kid was safe anyway. Watch. Run it again.
Oh my goodness. Ow.
I told you, he was safe, bro. Anyway,
he was safe.
He was safe. Come on. And so the fight was even over nothing. At least have a bad call before you go fighting with umpires. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna get details of what happened here and also the response from that umpire because he lied on the ground for a long time. Speaking of the serious part about this. So the umpire from Denton said that he's gonna press charges against a boys baseball coach after an incident occurred at a game over the weekend. He said the coach attacked him. It was on video. The umpire is at home resting and recovering, and the coach will now face an assault charge after admitting that he shoved the ump after he questioned to call it home plate. The umpire's story goes into these details. He goes, I ejected him and I held up my hand and I said, we aren't doing this, coach. And he held his hand up to mock me saying, oh, we're not doing this. And he shoved me right in the face and I fell backwards and hit my head and I was down for a while. Ryan Walk, hope I pronounced his name right, was watching his 10-year-old son, a bystander here. He was on a neighboring field watching his kid. So he said he was on the ground for 10 to 15 minutes. The ambulance came out there, put him on a stretcher. Scary times. And lastly, Fox 4 spoke to the coach who shoved him on Monday, and he admitted that he had his role in the confrontation, and he hopes that he can one day shake Phelps's hand and apologize. I don't want to destroy anyone's life, is what Phelps, the umpire, said, but I would like for this to be a learning opportunity to get this out there. Ivana, we talked about this before and it was a fun conversation, but this did get serious because the guy stayed on the ground and had to get taken to the hospital and it got serious. This is why you don't do these things.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's okay. There is, I called them Coach Mom, Coach Dad, the people, the parents who get very, very animated during their kids' games, which is fine. You want to see your kid do well, and if you think there's a bad call, that might make your kid doubt their sporting abilities, whatever the sport may be. It feels bad, it sucks, and it can make you really angry. But there's like an appropriate way to handle that and an inappropriate way to handle that. Appropriate after the game, tell your kid you were safe. It was a bad call or whatever the call was. Or that you got fouled. You should have gone to the line. The ref was way off. Mm-hmm. And then there's the bad way to handle it, which was that. I mean, I used to do the scoreboard for rec basketball, and the parents would not just scream at me, right? So if the game was a blowout, I had to turn the score off and just run the clock. And there was one I was doing the scoreboard for, and it was maybe they were up by 50. It was absurd. And the mom comes over to me and she's like, "Put the score back on there. Stop the clock. Put the score back on there." And I was like, "Have you literally no shame? Your child's team is eviscerating these 8-year-olds. You want me to put the score on there?" But I mean, it wasn't just me. She would turn around and then yell at her son too. And that's what's really, gross, because her son is the best player on the team. He's scoring layup after layup, right? He's like 5 feet tall, playing against 3'4" kids. He's dominating this game, but he walked away crying because she kept screaming at him. So it's like you're instilling, not just like bad sportsmanship in your kids, but then if you're also, berating them, they walk away feeling like they didn't accomplish something, and it's just the wrong message.
That's the part they're missing, is that these kids are there. They're like, I'm here protecting my kid and his integrity. No, you're protecting your ego and what you expected to happen for your kid. And your kid's probably horrified and hates you deep down inside over the example that you're setting. Really fast, because this is how bad it gets. It's only 30 seconds worth of a fight from Colorado a couple years ago. This is one of the worst ever. Really fast, watch this.
What is happening? This cannot happen. Jesus.
In the name of Jesus, Father, right now, that didn't help the fight continued, but these things happen.